You would hope that the places on this list stay abandoned, but unfortunately for you, an evil presence still lurks here. My name is AJ Spatola with Most Amazing, and these are the top 10 disturbing evil people caught in abandoned places. At number 10 is the Lucy Unaliving House. In Uniontown, Alabama, stands a once stunning Greek revival mansion that now seems engulfed by the earth. Its tragic history matches its eerie appearance, because in 1994, the Lucy Unaliving House gained notoriety when the remains of Alan Lucy were discovered buried beneath its front porch. Alan, who lived with his adoptive parents, Philip and Margaret Lucy, vanished in 1985. Now what's chilling is that Philip and Margaret's biological son, Jason, had been telling classmates that his father unalived Alan and buried him in the backyard. But no one believed Jason's claims back then, despite earlier rumors about the case took years to resolve, and only after decades when Alan Lucy's unaliving was brought to justice. However, the impact still lingers, as the house remains a haunted relic, reflecting the environmental injustices that have plagued upon Uniontown, driving residents away and leaving those who stayed fighting their own battles for justice. Number 9 is Gary, Indiana, where something eerie lurks amidst all these decaying houses. Around 10,000 abandoned homes scatter across the town, worn down by time and neglect. These empty structures with their crumbly walls and their worn-out roofs stand as grim reminders of a once thriving industry that faded away, leaving the town to struggle. These derelict houses now serve as shelters for those with nowhere else to go, or worse yet, are hiding spots for those with sinister intentions. A chilling example of this darkness unfold with serial unaliver Darren Van. Between 2013 and 2014, he took the lives of 7 people, unaliving them and leaving their bodies in these forsaken dwellings. Crime stayed hidden until he made a fatal mistake, leading to his arrest. His plea deal revealed the grim truth, exposing how these abandoned places provided him with a sinister cover for these horrific acts. The silence of these empty homes shielded his action, raising chilling questions about the lives lost and how much longer his crimes might have remained concealed if he didn't slip up. If you're enjoying this video so far, please support the channel by pressing like, subscribing to Most Amazing, and ringing that notification bell. At number 8 is The Cage. Deep within the quaint village of the St. Oist lies a chilling relic of England's past, The Cage, a haunted house infamous for its eerie history. Originally a medieval prison where alleged witches faced trials and hangings in the 1500s, this place holds a spine-tingling reputation as one of England's haunted spots. 13 accused witches were once held here, and 3 met their demise on site, notably Ursula Kemp in 1582. After its closure as a prison in 1908, ghostly tales continued to swirl around the property. Previous owner Vanessa endured unexplainable phenomena, citing instances of ghostly encounters and poltergeist activities. Her reported experience include unsettling occurrences like being pushed while she was with child by an unseen force and objects mysteriously flying across rooms. Despite lingering spirits, a property found the new order in 2020 after a lengthening 12 years on the market. At number 7 is the Minxiong Ghost House in Taiwan. It was built in 1929 by a rich businessman, but soon after the family left it abandoned. One spooky legend revolves around how a maid who supposedly had an affair with the owner. The owner's wife found out, and she did some bad things to the maid. It said that the maid met her end tragically at the site, jumping into the well on her property, and now her ghost lingers here. Now, later on, the place became a shelter for members of a political party trying to escape persecution. Some say a few of them also chose to unalive themselves here, making the place even more eerie. The story is super chilling. At number 6 is the Los Feliz Unaliving House, a spooky tale tied to a once elegant estate in LA. Back in 1959, Dr. Harold Perelson, a well-known cardiologist, tragically went on a rampage. He attacked his family in the night with a hammer, starting with his wife and the rest of his family. Luckily, the eldest daughter managed to escape and seek help. The house remained frozen in time after this terrible event. The family who next owned it never really moved in. They left the place as it was, keeping the Perelsons' belongings intact. Like an eerie time capsule from the 1950s with Christmas gifts still wrapped and forgotten, recently the house got cleared out and is up for sale with an estimated value of millions of dollars. At number 5, the Mojave Desert. It's stunning with its unique plants, especially the Joshua tree, but sadly, some people have used this vast, beautiful land as a place to hide terrible secrets. A former sheriff deputy chief mentioned that if someone wanted to hide something awful, they might choose a place like the California desert. It's isolated, making it easier to hide dark and disturbing things. In 1984, there was this guy named William Richard Bradford who pretended to be a photographer and lured people doing something horrible to them and then burying them in the desert after removing their tattoos. He got caught for 2 of these unalivings, but he might have done even more terrible stuff because he bragged about it, saying that there were probably more victims that no one even knows about. Not too long ago in 2013, they found the remains of 4 more in these shallow graves there. At number 4 is UK's House of Horror. This Victorian mansion in UK earned the chilling nickname House of Horror after a tragic incident that took place in 2006. Christopher Lumsden, a successful law partner, committed a horrific act by fatally unaliving his wife Alison by using a blade. This act occurred after Alison disclosed her intention to leave him for a family friend. Now, despite being guilty due to diminished responsibility, Lumsden served only 2.5 years in jail. The aftermath left the mansion abandoned, falling into a state of despair, and despite its once elegant appearance with well-kept lawns and tennis courts. In 2007, a property developer purchased the house, but its grim history deterred potential buyers. Over the decade-long restoration project, the mansion underwent significant renovations, and finally, it was put on the market for £2.5 million after being restored to its former glory. At number 3 is the Villa de Vecchi, known as the Red House, which sits quietly in the Italian mountains near Lake Como. Built in the 1800s, it was once a grand summer retreat owned by a famous count, but now it stands abandoned, its elegance faded into ruin. Now, legends tell of a ghostly presence playing the piano within its walls every night. The history, however, holds far darker events, because about 5 years after its completion, tragedy struck the count's family. His wife was found brutally unalived, and their daughter vanished as well. The count searched tirelessly for a year before unaliving himself in despair. The Red House hosted even darker events in later years. Rumors suggest that notorious occultist Aleister Crowley visited it, and his followers later conducted sinister rituals involving very gruesome things within its decaying ruins. At number 2 is Baton Rouge, which has been seeing a share of chilling stories involving serial unalivers lurking in abandoned places. Since 1997, this city has grappled with a serious issue, witnessing the loss of nearly 70 innocents at the hands of 5 different cold-hearted unalivers. It's alarming because Baton Rouge sits in Louisiana, the only state in the US with a unaliving rate exceeding 10 unalivings per 100,000 residents. And at number 1 is Lennox Castle. Lennox Castle is a place with a long history which has seen some unsettling times. Initially built for a Scottish family, it later turned into an asylum for people with mental illnesses in the 1930s. During WW2, it became a hospital, and inside those walls, fights among patients were sadly common. Imagine one brawl being so intense that staff and even innocent patients fled, leaving rioters locked inside. By the 1980s, the hospital was empty, and by 2002, it officially shut down. Now there's talk about changing the castle into apartments. Of course. Alright, that's it. Unless you're seriously considering encountering evil in the most horror-esque setting, I would recommend you steer clear of these locales. As always, if there's an abandoned place where evil dudes hang out that you think I've missed, feel free to let me know down in the comments. This has been AJ Spatola with Most Amazing, and I'll catch you all in another video.